Hello. How are we doing today? It's not just any other rare Monday sort of a stream, but it's more of like my first time actually doing this kinds of stuff. I think, you know, I think it's about time that we start to you know, move and branch out into like certain kinds of like content here and there. So one of the ones I've actually been trying to work on is a little bit of a thing in this category here. I think this is the most appropriate one. And also, can I say that this is I don't like the Twitch visual for this category at all. It looks so weirdly AI generated that I really have no idea if it actually is. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But yeah. Here we are. I don't know. I've never really celebrated like an anniversary before. I've never done that kind of stuff. It's kind of weird. But yeah. So this being like my first time actually being on here in the makers and crafters category, and like actually doing some, well, educational making and crafting. I figured why not, right? We'll actually try to do a little bit of a handcam stream and yeah. I think you'll finally see my hands live for the first time. Like, look, I have the power of hands. I have the power of hands. And it feels so nice to wield the power. Alright. But yeah, how are you doing today? It's not every week you know, have a Monday stream here and there. So yeah, I heard that in the UK, France, Spain, wherever you are, you know, if you're having like this extreme heat that you're dealing with, I hope you're actually staying cool. You know, if you need to sweat it out, please sweat it out, and stay hydrated, more importantly. But yeah, but over here it's a nice like nice pleasant 17 degrees Celsius. So I would say geographically I am fortunate to be like, how to say, avoid some of the to avoid some of the climatological, you know, sort of a thing that has befallen us, this like befallen this continent, you know, at least a couple of times already. But yeah, I don't know what else to say though. It's like I said, you know what, 22nd of June, I decided, you know, just at the start of summer, why not? Let's go debut, right? Let's go debut as a VTuber and stuff like that. And never have I thought that I would have such a nice time streaming. I actually enjoy streaming like more and more, to be honest. So there's that. And it's nice to look back like 2 years later and, you know, appreciate how far I've come, and like, you know, the sort of the sort of like type of streams and content that I eventually learned to embrace and stuff like that. So yeah, I think without further ado, let's crack on with our first well, actually our first ever anniversary sort of a special here. Like I've never really like I've never really celebrated an anniversary before, like I said. So, you know, there's going to be scuff, I can guarantee that. But you know what, that's fine. So yeah, let's actually show the webcam, the hand cam. You know, the funky part is I actually used the reason why I use the reason why I chose to like opt for a PNG tuber model like this time for my 1.5 is mainly because I really wanted to do a handcam stream. I'm not sure how well it will go, but I'll try anyway. But yeah, so the stuff I'm normally using for VTuber face capture is now going to capture my hands. And I don't think I've actually shown you my like IR hands before, like, you know, beyond cosplays and stuff like that. I know I've like, you know, shown cosplays on stream from time to time, but hello. It's in focus though. I think that's my main part. Like whenever I test out the webcam stuff, it seems to have like a nice, it seems to have like a really weird funky time focusing. That's a main part I'm like very how to say, aware about. But yeah, hands. I've never done a hand cam stream before, so hands. And there's like, and you can also see like a decent amount of like reflection from like the ring light I'm using. It's gonna be hard like getting for me to like maintain focus here. It's like every slight movement I think is gotta like refocus here and there. I think this camera also captures in 720p as well, so I don't know. I might actually hunt for a better one. You know, if I really want to commit to like doing more handcam streams. But anyway, the main topic of today's stream is because I really want to showcase. I really want to do some good old stuff with clay. So I got like some of them like the last time I traveled. This one was last year, like right on the dot, like last year. I'm surprised it kind of like maintained its softness all the way until like now. And this one's the one I got more recently. So yeah, we'll be fooling about a lot with some clay today. So why fooling about with clay today? I have been, you know, doing a bunch of, you know, research regarding what to do for like streams like this. And I decided, you know what, let's try to make something really nice and funky, right? Something really nice and how to say, unique, something that pertains to my brand a lot. So I've been like posting stuff on socials regarding some writing systems, like say, let me look at my gallery again. Stuff like this one. So I thought to myself, you know what, I'll take the time to like actually practice this entire bunch, and then actually, you know, actually like put it onto stream or something like that. That's what I should, that is what I wanted to do. And yeah, so I actually practiced like a bunch of like some clays before. But I think these ones have like long since been dried. Let me see. This one has long since been dried. I tried to like re-wet them to like, you know, restore them to their former glory, but I think those are in vain. Those are like really practice material that I've been like using for my cuneiform practice, that kind of stuff. But yeah, these ones have been, you know, long since dried up. I don't think I can use them like pretty much anymore. So yeah. Anyway, so the basics of, so let me just introduce like the basics of cuneiform, right? Like, you know, because the theme of my celebration this time is Bronze Age Internet. So we'll revisit some of the most, or some of the earliest parts of writing. Now, cuneiform is actually a pretty funky, you know, set of writing systems. It's like different kinds of writing systems here and there, but you're more like, I think everyone's like most familiar with like Sumerian, that kind of writing system. So there are like two things that generally need to like do cuneiform: a nice amount of clay and some sort of stylus. Now, normally the styluses that you see in Mesopotamia and stuff like that will be made out of reeds, but I have like done some looking about, and maybe you can find something that has a nicer edge like this. Can it focus? No. I think it's having a really hard time like focusing. But anyway. You normally like need a stylus with like a nice edge like this, and apparently some chopsticks just, you know, do really well like this. So I've actually tried to like, you know, hone the craft a little bit. What if I have like a little triangular edge? I'm not sure if it's actually reflected by my webcam here. And this is the one I've been using to practice like a whole bunch of wedge shapes. We'll cover them later. And another one I've been using is like slightly more thin in profile, but still like a general rectangular cross section. I kind of like use a whole bunch of like 60 grit sandpaper like this. So yeah, this is the sort of like sanding stuff I've been using. And it's pretty well used right now because I've been like just trying to get the stylus like, you know, all the way down to perfect. But yeah, this is the main stuff you need, right? A good amount of clay and a good amount and a good like stylus. This is the tools of the trade. So yeah, normally I would like I think this time the edge on this one looks pretty good. Let's see if you can, let me see if I can get it to focus. Focus up. Can you focus? There we go. But yeah, it is a pretty decent edge, so I think I can use it for like cuneiform stuff. So normally how you do it is you would like kind of like press it into clay to create some nice strokes. So that is the entire basics of cuneiform. It is wedge, how to say, it is actually derived from like the wedge shape, the indentations that you mark into the clay, and that's what gives it the cuneiform sort of name itself. So it kind of like has a whole bunch of like different writing systems here and there, from like logographic all the way to alphabetical. Well, almost alphabetical. But they all carry the same principle of, the wedges. It's always the wedges. Now, there are 3 different types of like basic stuff for cuneiform. So let me maybe just demonstrate it using one of my clay blocks here. I'm actually so nervous about opening like... Actually, you know what? Let me just open this one, which is kind of nearly formed. It would be such a waste to like leave this one. I don't want to use this though. It's really firm. Okay, maybe for demonstration purposes, we'll use this one. Okay. Now how do I open this? Open it. Okay, I might have ruined the packaging here. Anyway. Oh, I have a pair of scissors. I should have used that. Never mind. Oh gosh. Well, what's a string without scuff? What is a string without scuff? What the heck did I just do? I'm just opening packs. Okay. It is pretty moist, which is okay. I think this is still like the sort you want to like write stuff with. Yeah, I have a pair of scissors somewhere. Oh gosh. I mean, then again, the Bronze Age people probably didn't have scissors. Actually, maybe they do, but it's like not stainless steel, it's like probably copper. It's definitely copper scissors. It's okay. We got this. Such nostalgia. I remember trying to work with clay was in school club years and years ago. Okay, but this one is different. This one is very educational. So you see, it got like a nice little block of clay. It is quite flimsy, okay. But the main principles of this, right? If you want to make some cuneiform stuff, to be fair, you do get like educational stuff. You do get educational experiences in school, right? Wait. What am I even saying? It is still educational, but this is like actual language stuff. So normally you would like, so to make the wedges, you kind of like just press it in, and you get, there we go, got a nice little horizontal wedge. And if you want to make the, I think this is the Winkelhaken stroke here. So there are 3 basic strokes in cuneiform. So you have like the vertical. Wait. The vertical. Made using the long edge, I think. You got a horizontal. Wait, no, that's not a horizontal. The horizontal. Something like this. Oh my gosh, how many committed? Wait, is this the first committed Discord? Wait, have you been saving up for that? Okay, just to warm up, this is how you make the strokes in cuneiform. Finally, the contribution. I know, right? Wait, I think this is the first time I've actually seen an almost 100k channel point contribution made. The heck? So yeah, just to warm up a little bit. This is horizontal. Oops. So yeah, you normally like press it down nicely. I think I should have used like some firmer clay rather than this one to like actually practice on. But then again, it would dry over. It would dry over the hours. I think this is fine. So yeah, the ones I'm making right now, these are called the Winkelhaken marks. This is made using when you press the short side in, short side of the stylus into the clay. So it makes like these nice little winged indentations like this. There we go. Now we can actually pretend it's proper Bronze Age internet. Now for the vertical ones, I actually have been having the most trouble with the vertical strokes for some reason. I might have to rotate it, I think. Did it work? Nope. I actually have like a lot of trouble with the vertical ones. I think this is how you make the vertical ones. There we go. And then we've got a horizontal. And then we can go with vinkelhaken. There we go. So yeah, the marks can be like light, it can be heavy, it can be like, how to say, rushed. There are like different kinds of styles to it. So you can get like different stroke lengths. And like depths mainly. I'm not sure if I'm still in focus or what. Like it's really having a hard time like trying to focus. So yeah, this one is pretty okay with like doing the vinkelhaken. But what I would also do is to use my my triangular shaped one is also fine as well. Though I do need to like find the correct one to actually do my vinkelhaken. It might be on the triangular side here, but it's kind of like dull, I think. What do you think? But I think for horizontal and vertical, these I would still prefer using my triangular stylus here. There we go. So I might actually just switch it up for like the vinkelhaken mark, which is the nice little this one here. I just realized something. Like from this light, it kind of like goes. It kind of like goes like, you know, in this direction here. Hold on a second. Now I might actually do vinkelhaken for this one. Wait. No, this is horizontal. Horizontal is here. But if I rotate it, oh gosh, I think I'm losing my grip here. Samurai Kai says, I love you bro, stay hydrated. I don't know what you're making, but be sure to show me the finished product later. I'll be sure to do so. Right now we are kind of like covering the basics of Q&A form, and And we'll be sure to show you the finished product later. But yeah, I need to bear in mind that like I'm actually doing this on my hand cam, which may or may not focus this one very properly. But yeah. Now, how did the bronzage, how it scribes, you know, remove erase markings? Like, that's the one thing I've actually tried to research as well. Like, what happens if you made like a spelling error or something? I don't know. But, you know, it turns out clay is actually pretty, you know, pliable. So you could like try to just smudge out. You could just try to smudge out like any sort of like markings you have made or something. But I'm not sure what happens if you like basically do it all over the page like this. Page? Tablet. I might actually have to flatten this. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what they have done as well. Like this one would have introduced some sort of like indentations into the stuff, even though that would like make for nice line separation. That's a good question. What would they have done? Would they have like flattened out with another clay block altogether? Oh gosh. Well, that residue is definitely gonna be that residue is definitely gonna stay there for like the rest of the stream. Oh my gosh, I should not have done that. Oh man, I should have used my. There we go. I'll use this one and just flatten out. Uh-oh. Okay, so now that we've covered like the basic strokes of cuneiform, I want to go from like the most recent to like the more antiquated one. So one of the most recent, you know, cuneiform script is the Old Persian script. I think that's also Ugaritic as well. Those are like, you know, the more recent bits. The Old Persian is actually pretty interesting. This is a very, you know, semi-syllabary like kind of a system. So, you know, sometimes you have like consonants that carry a certain vowel. Sometimes you just have like just the consonant itself and things like that. But yeah, these kinds of systems normally have like the fewest number of like characters or letters involved. And I think I show you an example right about here. So this is essentially all of the letters of the Old Persian cuneiform. We can actually dedicate like one entire tablet to like just cover the letters in Old Persian cuneiform. But this is not a gist of it. It's like, that's basically about 38, no wait, 36 letters. There's just 36 letters in this entire system. Compared to like the hundreds that you see in like Sumerian and Akkadian, for example. So I think this is the one thing that we can try to replicate for now, and then we'll move on to, you know, another writing system of old. But yeah, so just to give a little bit of history about the Old Persian cuneiform, it was actually used to like write, well, Old Persian. So the modern, so you know, text regarding this writing system would have been found somewhere in like, you know, modern day Iran, Armenia, Romania, Turkey, and you know, anywhere would have like, you know, would have fallen under the Old Persian Empire, like, you know, under kings like Darius, Xerxes, and stuff like that. So one of the funky stuff is this was written as late as 500 BC to as even later as 330 BC. This is all read and written from like left to right, much like you'd see for, you know, our present Latin alphabets and stuff like that. And this was actually inspired by, you know, a predecessor form of cuneiform writing. So yeah, this was probably one of the first. This is probably one of the first kinds of cuneiform systems to be deciphered, because there's just so little, there's so few unique characters to make sense of here. And once you like figure out, okay, which one says king, which one says like names and stuff like that, I think that's where you can start to like maybe piece together how these sorts of letters and sounds would have melded together. So using that, you would move on to like entire sequences of characters, and then you would like decipher entire text and, you know, figure out how Old Persian would have been would have functioned back in the day. So yeah, Old Persian actually encodes, like, represents only like 3 vowels and 22 consonants, but it uses 36 letters. So that means that like some of them do get combined into syllable blocks, others, well, do not. So yeah, I think we can try to like, you know, write some of this here, yeah? So let's see how we can organize this bit. So let's see, let's get the stylus out. I'm actually looking into my OBS right now and like trying to see how best I can organize this workspace, because I have my mic, my webcam to like be especially concerned about, and I've never done this before, like on camera. I can try the 4-edged one and see. Okay, maybe I should move this one here, like right beside my face, so I can probably bring it to the right here, yeah. So I think and try to write stuff. Let's see how well this one goes. Is this good? It's a bit rudimentary though. I do need to It's a bit too, you know, imperfect. You know, I want to try to like write old Persian on this tablet at least. I want to like maybe air dry it and like, you know, preserve it for like, you know, future reference. Like it like as is on its on like, you know, as is. Okay, maybe what if I use my yeah. Let me just try to like smudge it out first. I would say like handling, you know, writing errors, scribing errors would have been much more difficult back in the day. Because I don't think you could like, I don't think erasers were invented back then. You can't, I mean you can just like flatten out the entire clay tablet if you want to like, you know, if you want to like hard reset it, but like, dang. Let's see. So this would have spelled the letter R. Let's see, can you get it on camera? Focus. Focus. There we go. I think got it. Now for E. Which would have used two short ones on the top. There we go. I think you can see it. And then we got a Winkelhaken on the U. And then there we go. So I think this is how it would have been written. Oh gosh. How do I get this camera to focus? I think this is my biggest challenges here. Hello? Bitteschön. Oh gosh. Why aren't you focusing on my clay? Focus on my clay. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. But for some reason, it just doesn't want to focus on my clay. What are you doing? Focus on my clay. I'm writing. Is it even? Oh gosh. Help. Help. How do I get my camera to focus? I am. Okay, what if I move you up there? Shrink you down. Now you should focus, right? Come on. Don't focus on my other stuff. It still likes to focus on my chopsticks. What is happening? Focus. Musibot. Hello? I have no idea why it's not focusing. Come on, focus. Focus. Why aren't you focusing? Come on. Come on. I don't know how, but I don't know how, I don't know why, it just doesn't want to focus for me. Oh no. Anyway, we can move on. I hope. Is it the light? It might be the light. It might be the light. Anyway. I think this is how the letter K would have been spelled. If it will focus... Okay, it's trying. There we go. Nice. Oh, come on, don't lose focus like that. You tried so hard to gain it. Come on. Come on. Focus. Oh my gosh, Dang you, Logitech. There we go. Yeah, I have no idea what is happening, but this thing doesn't want to focus. Focus also when you place it at a certain angle, so maybe the light's a problem. Yeah, let me increase the brightness here then. Let's see. Sit better. Oh, come on. It was like really nice a while ago. I think it really wants to focus on like something. I never thought my camera's focus would be like my biggest enemy here. Hey? Yeah. Come on. It's staying still for you. There we go. Oh my gosh. Come on. Come on. Is it really doing anything? I might actually get a new webcam at this point. Oh no. You know what, maybe this is the source of like all of the problems I've had with my face rigging. It's the webcam. It is a cam. Come on. Like for some reason, like it just had it for a little bit, and then it decides to focus on something else. I've no idea what it's trying to focus on. Come on. But in any case, I really have no idea what it's trying to focus on here. So right now I'm like stuck with a really blurry webcam. That just refuses to cooperate. And this would have been X1 if... It had it! It had it for a second! The X sound, the H sound. Come on. Upper Lumao. Upper Lumao. Border webcam. Do you want it to like lay flat? I'm not sure if I can, you know. Do it like this though. Let me see if I get another light going, how this will go. Oh gosh. It's like the sun here. Yeah, it looks like the sun's hit it. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna like fix this camera's stupid focus issues because this is not optimal. I do apologize though. I tried my best. To do the to just settle the you know, to really try to like fix up the issues with my lighting. But yeah, if you have any tips on how to like get a webcam to focus, please let me know. I would be taking all kinds of advice here. I would be accepting all kinds of advice here because it does bug you at some point when the webcam just refuses to when the camera just refuses to focus on the stuff you want them to. What if we just send a really strongly worded complaint tablet to like the webcam company? I don't think it's a webcam itself. I don't know. Either way, I'm probably not having it. Oh gosh, my stuff is actually cracking up as well. Yeah, I do need to maintain moistness. Maybe that's another drawback of like working with clay, right? Writing on clay is that things tend to like dry up. And so you want to like maintain like a decently moist working environment so you can like write your stuff on. I think I'm playing like struggling so much with the camera's focus that I really, like, you know, neglected to, you know, maintain my clay's integrity. It is actually cracking up right now, so it's like, oh gosh, oh no. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to wet the clay a little bit more then, just to prevent it from cracking up, and maybe to like start over like a fresh blank slate. There we go. I think it's how you clean the slate. Oh man. Writing must be so tough in like the Bronze Ages as well. Because imagine this is what you have to go through in order to like send a cheeky little message to like someone. Or some might even like do send a complaint send in a complaint message. Oh man, I actually like understand the struggles now, like not only camera wise but also everything else life-wise. Yeah, I actually struggle to like get the wedge shape going. Let's see, smudge it. And I'll be honest, I would not have made like a disc right back in the day. But I still maintain the fact that I have like nice handwriting, like otherwise. There we go. Yeah, I think this was how the wedge shape would have been made here. But yeah, I would say like cuneiform feels really nice to work with. Ignoring like several complexities in life. Oh my gosh, it is finally in focus. Look at that. Unfortunately, I do need to like smudge out something. I do need to erase something. Just to make it look nicer. I just want my writing to look a little nicer. You know, improve your Bronze Age penmanship. You know, mine still looks like a Latin letter F, and that can't stand. I think if anything, this experience made me realize that I should probably invest in like a better webcam. There we go. Then horizontal, horizontal. I'm just screwing it up. Yeah, I think this is like one of those mediums where you really need a good hydrate or dihydrate sort of a thing as well. Okay, that's a very scuffed letter gu. Now we can go for the ch and the sounds. Yeah. It's not just that, we do have to hydrate this clay tablet here. You see this? I have like entire spray bottle. Just in case. Okay. And I got some horizontals coming in. Right, I mentioned this how they like used to the erase back in the day, just like rub their fingers all over it and like just make that problem disappear. But it does go into the medium quite a bit. Can't erase it. Thank you. Who knows? Maybe in like a future anniversary, you'll like do the entire complaint tablet to A on Nasir on stream. I think that'll be a goal. I think that can be a goal. Okay. Yeah, how do you even prevent your clay tablets from fracturing like this? It's so weird. Oh gosh. Because they do crack up when they dry, which is not what you want when you're writing. Isn't it so annoying when like you're writing and then like all of a sudden your stuff starts to break up? This is what it feels like in like what 500 BC to like 4000 BC or something like that. Okay, what if I use my other stylus? Who knew writing like 36 letters would be like that difficult? Okay. And yeah, I've only managed to get like 8 in. I am definitely not cut out for the Bronze Age drop. We could also go over like other kinds of like writing systems such as linear A and linear B. Those are also pretty funky as well. Because I don't think I've actually managed to like crack one of them. Okay, there we go. Now we got the just sounds, which I believe is one. For the row, and one for the row. But yeah, I'm just gonna smudge it out again. Let's see. No, that's a wedge. Okay. I think I wet it too much. Oh no. And also I need to stop this thing from breaking up. It is actually trying to break up. It's actively trying to break up. I can't allow that. Not on my watch. Not while I'm writing. Should also probably hold it like slightly more convex, right? So you could like get a better carving edge out. Yeah. Yeah, I do need to make it more convex in nature, I think. There we go. And then three small ones here. Onto the sound. Which also has two forms, one for this row here, and one for this row here. There we go. Can you see it? And then the sound. The sound is here. This is da. D. And the do sound. So the next three are going to be the P, F, and B sounds. These things also do not really have a different, sort of a thing. Do not have like different forms based on like the vowel they're attached to. So I think I can start to like consider making space at the side to write them down here. I think that's what I would do. How's it so dark though? The sun sets at like 11 PM. The sun is still up. I have no idea why it's like got so dark in my room. I think the sun is doing a little bit of a trolling here. Normally it's like slightly brighter than it is right now. So yeah, this is your P sound. And if you want to write your F, something like this. I need to like get my stuff aligned first. I do want it to like look really nice. There we go. And then if you want the B sound, I want it to be horizontal instead of like pointing downwards though. I get that. There we go. But yeah, I think my organization is like pretty much all over the place right now. It's in focus. Only barely. And now we are in the na sound. So the na is split into two letters. You got the na and the ni, and then you got the nu. Uh-oh. Yeah, I do need more water. Just to fix up that side. A little bit more. Okay, next one is the M sound. But I think we can have enough space for like two more, and then we'll just focus on the other consonant only once at the side here. So the first one will be ma. Go on here. And the mi. and the moon. Yeah. And then you got the yes sound. Is written something like so. Actually, this one should be like slightly lower, I think. I think I'll just erase that and do a better one. There we go. It should be visible, right? And then the verse sound. The V sound would have been here. Like so, I believe. And so the last of the ones with the attached vowels ones is the R sound. Which would have been not spelled that way. I do need 3 horizontal strokes. Okay. 2, 3. That is not looking so good. No, I'm just gonna wet this bit here. Smudge out this area. And make sure this part doesn't crack. I think that's like the weakest link right now in the entire project. You know, I can skip that letter first. And then go for the L sound first. So this one would have up. Slightly longer. No. Yeah, I think more water is in order. And return to the R sound. I think it would have been slightly better hardened. There we go. And then the rock stroke. I want horizontal. And then the wedge. And another wedge. But yeah, I think water would have been like an eraser for the time. I look at how effective it is. And then, no, it's more of like whiteout. Whiteout? No. Tipex, whatever the thing is called. You know, this sort of correction fluid that you like put over pen and paper these days. Water would have been like the same thing like back then, I think. So whenever you make like a little error, you just like smush it out with water and then just carry on with your day. Maybe after letting it dry for a little bit. I think that's what people would have done back then. Like water, then let it dry, and then you carry on. Wait, am I having such a hard time trying to get the wedge one slide done for the really bottom edge of the tablet here? Let's see if I can bump it up a little bit. So this will be a Z sound. The sh sound will be this one. And then your h sound. Screwed up that stroke. There we go. Maybe that could have been done a little bit more better. Maybe not as close to the edge like this. But this would have been a hush sound. Let's see if you can see it. If it will cooperate. If the webcam will cooperate. Then we can finish the last letters here as well. Okay. Horizontal. There's no horizontal. There's more wedgy than horizontal. I don't really like to say the word wrinklehaken because it's so long. That it feels like pretentious to even say it, in a way. Okay, horizontal. It's okay, it's a last letter. It's a last letter that we're gonna write on this face here. Now the funny part is, old person wouldn't have been like, you know, necessarily like written out in clay like this. But more rather, it would have been like actually carved out in stone. Instead, yeah. So it would have been like actually done this way, the way that I'm doing right now. I just don't want my entire clay tablet to fall apart while I'm doing this. I think after this I will just set it down and let it like dry for a bit. And if I really want to preserve it, I will bake it in an oven. Like fun fact, many of the surviving clay tablet stuff that were found, they are more likely preserved by fire and like stuff when, you know, people wanted to like loot archaeological sites and stuff like that, or over time. People would like set fire and stuff like that to destroy like, say, any sort of like old stuff. or stuff they would perceive as like foreign or as part of the enemy and stuff like that. So I think this 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, this would have been the full sort of old Persian writing system. All 36 letters on it. See? But this wasn't this wasn't necessarily the full picture, because you also had like 8 sort of logograms that represented like actual actual nouns that that were present in the Old Persian language, but this was mainly pertaining to things related to the land, the royalty, and the religion that persisted in the time. So this is this would have been the full 36 letters of the Old Persian script. Let's take that in. Is it in focus? Let me know if it's in focus, because I really want to see if I can like try to get it like in there. So if we maybe let it so maybe if I write the reverse side and like write the other bunch, we could actually do it. Let's see. Directly spray on this. And just let it. There we go. So one of the how to say, words that would have, you know, be written as a logogram would be the one for king, which is the one I'm writing right now. There we go. And then there's also, which is pronounced Hishaya. That would have been king in Old Persian. And if you want to write like country, Dahyaush. it would have been written something like this. Down below. And I think there's also another form that would have been written with an extra vertical stroke at the end. So that is Dahiaush. Now, that being the times of opus here, you would also have like, you know, some sort of like religion that you have to follow or something like that was practiced during that time and place. Their word for God was Baga, which actually, you know, really resembles you know, the current the modern Russian and Ukrainian words for God, which is Bog. Earth is called Boomish, which kind of reminds me of like the Malay word for Earth as well, I think, Bumi. Or I think land. I think that would be a much more accurate translation. Apparently can't write. Okay, that is such a weird way to write it, but let me just redo that thing again. How do I do the wedge shape again? It's this way, right? I did it this way. Yeah, okay. I don't know though. I think I'm like partially like losing track of how to write the write that particular stroke. The oh my gosh, do I want to say it again? Winkelhaken. Yeah, I think that word will never like leave my mind now. It will just live rent free in my head. The Winkelhaken. There we go. Boomish. And then there's also this person called Ahura Mazda, who is the principal god and sky deity in Zoroastrianism. So that would have been like really old Persian times as well. think it's like one of the first religions that, you know, was in that region as well, right? So it kind of like makes sense for this you know, figure to have their own dedicated character to write. Which also had like their own like derivative forms as well. You know, if you want to like write like, if you want to impart like certain grammatical functions to it, such as possessions, you would also have to use like other kinds of other variants here and there. Let's see how I can. So this would have been another alternate form of Ahura Mazda. And then there's also one that adds another stroke to it, which is the wedge one. Let's show you how it's done here. I do apologize if I accidentally hit the mic. But yeah, this extra stroke here would have been can you see it? I swear man, the focus is just pure butt. Focus. There we go. This stroke here would impart the genitive case for Ahura Mazda, and this would have been like, you know, without possession, this would have been like the base form of the deity itself. So yeah, we flip it to the other side. This is the full Old Persian writing system. So you got all of the nice letters over here. Then we flip it to the other side. And then we've got all of the logograms here and there. So all 44 letters of the Old Persian are right here. Just fix this one up. I just don't want my stuff to crack. Not after I spent like so much effort like trying to put them together. Okay, so let me just see if I can just make sure this thing doesn't crack here and there. I think I'll just heat for it to like crack after all of the effort I put in. You know, in getting this one, you know, pretty much up. Then smooth out any edges like this. But yeah. This is the thing. See this? So I think I'll just set it aside. For it to air dry and stuff. How do I best... What does the instruction say? Air dry for over a day. I think we'll do that. We'll just leave it to air dry for a day, and then we'll have like our own little, you know, keepsake clay tablet detailing Old Persian cuneiform. Okay. How do I... Because I do have a reverse side, so I'm not really sure how people back then who like wrote double-sided clay tablets would have, you know, passed on their messages. That'd be an interesting question though. It's like, what are the logistics of, you know, sending postage in the Bronze Age? Now we can also break open this one. I need to probably wet this one as well. So I think I can like try to give you a little bit of you know, a little peek-sees into the complete tablet like Ea Nasir and stuff like that. So the complete tablet Ea Nasir was written in Akkadian cuneiform. So this would be sometime about 4,000 years ago, about 1900 BC. And yeah, as usual, you can see the actual clay tablet, the complaint tablet to Ea Nasir, in the British Museum, because of course. But that is what people would say is the oldest customer complaint letter in the world that's been documented. Who knows? Maybe once you like figure out the Sumerians, like more Sumerian tablets, that record may or may not be broken. But yeah, this clay unfortunately has been really dried out. To be fair, it's been about a year since I've like since I bought this. So I don't think I should be surprised that it's dried up by now. But at least it's still, you know, somewhat okay. Oh. Oh, okay, I see a problem. Okay. Let's try to get it back into shape, I guess. This really takes you back. This really takes you back to like you know, a bit of childhood. You know, back when when you're like shaping clay for like pottery class or something like that. It does give that feel again. I must admit. Maybe this is the reason why, like, you know, people started writing on clay tablets and stone first. They were like the most readily available writing media without much processing needed. And you do need it for, like, you know, certain important, you know, items like making pots, ampules, vases to store your like food and wine and all that stuff. I guess I can see why people started using started to write on clay tablets first. It was the most like readily available, for example, I think. But yeah, we can start afresh with a new tablet. So here we'll introduce ourselves to maybe I'll just write a little bit of the first lines of the complaint tablet to Air Nasir. How about that? Because it is really funky. I really like things like that. Because if I remember correctly, the complete tablet to Air Nasir would have been about this size. It would have been about this size as well. But when it comes to its thickness, it would have been slightly thicker, about this thick. About 3 centimeters thick, I think. Because there were like stuff found on the left side of the tablet as well. I didn't really like look at what it actually said. I do need to, like, you know, consult the good old archives to parse out what it actually says. But essentially, it's like, you sold me poor quality copper. You also treated my guy with such contempt. How dare you? That was like essentially the entire material of the complaint, which is really just, you know, funky. Okay, let me just get the surface all prepared. But yeah, the first line in the entire bit says Anna Ea Nasir, which is probably like to Ea Nasir or something like that. Kibima Uma Naanima Anu Mata Liku Kiam Dagbiam. It's basically addressing that guy, like, directly, I think. It's basically Nani, the customer who bought the copper, addressing air nausea directly. So some parts of it have been simplified in some way, I think. Let's see, I can make out what the line art is saying here. But yeah, I would have basically started off like this. Come on. Focus. One. Focus. I swear like half the screen is probably getting the thing to focus. Yep, so this character here will be Anna, oh gosh. Na, and then there's like the sheer part, which is really, I don't think I have enough space for me to write here. But yeah, that's like the basics start to like the complete tablets. It is a really cool, like, you know, just thing to really explore. But I think I could try to like dedicate like a new like stream where like I would just try to recreate the complete tablet to Air Nasir. Today's stuff is mainly the this agenda is mainly you know, the introduction to cuneiform bit, which I really want to get myself into and, you know, practice. But yeah, don't worry, I got like more clay that I got from Hong Kong, this one, and it's still very pliable. I will be using this for like another at least a couple more clay tablets. Who knows, maybe I could like do one of those like things where, like, you know, I don't know, that or some other contribution, and you get like a nice clay tablet with your name on it. I think I might do that kind of stuff, and then it's like, you know, it'd be nice to have like a nice cuneiform version of yourself materialized in a clay tablet, kind of a medium. I might do that. But yeah, we are back with like a fresh new clay tablet here. So the one other stuff I want to introduce to you is the Ugaritic cuneiform. This one is slightly older than our good old Persian here. So Old Persian was in use from 500 to 300 BC. This one was more about 1400 BC. So, you know, very, very Bronze Age-y. Now, this was mainly used in the city-state of Ugarit, which is located in present-day Syria. So it is mainly more of like a consonant sort of alphabet. So basically, functionally an object, so you don't have like any sort of vowels inside it at all. You have to like kind of use your interpretation to figure out what and where to put all of the vowels in. However, this one had letters that you might be actually pretty familiar with. Let's show you that. Because to start off with, we have the letter alpha. Now, because Ugaritic is a Semitic language, so it would have been like, you know, in the same branch of languages like Arabic, Amharic, that kind of stuff. You had like letters such as alpha, even beta as well. Then gamla, which also is Swedish for old. And then ha. I should probably like get this like to be more well, you know, aligned with each other so it's more presentable. I might actually start over. I kind of just want to make it like, you know, more, I want to make my handwriting look nice. Like I remember back in like uni and stuff, my notes are like just known for like being like one of the nicest notes. It is crowded, but it is still visually, you know, pleasing. You know, I could like make it like huge as well. We can use a real estate for this. So yeah, this would have been alpha. I swear, half my battles are just trying to get my clay in focus. Anyway. Okay, there's your beta. Gamla is just one straight line down. car has slightly more strokes inside it. I think it's like 3 small ones. It's like 3 small strokes in a little trench coat. I swear, sometimes it just comes in focus for like 1 second and it just like loses focus. I have no idea what's going on. Now, this data you might be more familiar with, in name of course. Okay, I need to write it like properly this time. But this letter's name is called delta. So yeah, I think there would have been like some sort of like, you know, communication. At least some sort of like communication between the Ugarites and people groups like the Phoenicians, the Greeks, who would have like influenced their alphabets in some way, shape, or form as well, or shared like similar names for their letters, such as, you know, the good old alpha, beta, delta. And then got the whole. I'm trying to write the next letter after whole. Or ho. Which is wo. Man, my letters are just... My handwriting is but... It's also barely in focus as well. Man. Yeah, this would be wool. Zeta would be 2 vertical ones, like so. So you know how Ha has like three strokes? This one is 2. This one is more unique to Semitic languages like Arabic. There is the emphatic consonants like H, which is kind of unique to like languages of this branch. Let's see if I can make my letters actually look nice. Oh yeah, about like stroke order, I think there's also like a certain stroke order in which, you know, different sorts of like cuneiform letters have to be written. But I think the most common sort of like, how to say, philosophy that I've seen is basically top to bottom, left to right. I think that's the most common that I've seen uh, this being applied in. So we have 1 down, wedge it, and then 1 wedge here. I have no idea what I just created. It's okay, I don't proclaim myself to be an expert with like this. It's more of like the fact that I'm really interested in this, that I'm willing to do it live. So this would be your hota. And then your tet. I think I should like swap this one over to the other bit. So you would know, so you can understand what I'm talking about. Do I even have it here? I did not save it. There we go. Yes, that's for like easy reference to we better see what I'm trying to write here. But yeah, I would really want to like use some clay to like, you know, just try to write out some, I don't know, Epic of Gilgamesh sort of a thing. That'd be nice. Okay, so next letter down this line will be the one called Yod. Now if I could like write it before my clay tablet fractures into two again, that'd be great. So this will be Yod. Cap is 3 horizontals. To be fair, these morphologies seem to be like really simple compared to some of the stuff I've seen in Arcadia and stuff like that. In. And lambda would be just 3 vertical ones, which is, you know, very simple. And then we're back to the more Arabic sounding names like Mem. Let me just write it a bit nicer for you. And also, let me know if you want like your name to appear on the tablet. I think I would try like making like some stuff on the reverse side of this one here as well. So I think I'll focus mainly on these two writing systems first because they are mainly, it's easier to establish some sound to character correspondences because, you know, alphabet versus, okay, more like a consonant tree, abjad, however I might put it, versus combined syllabary and alphabet. I may or may not have screwed up the tab here. Let's see if we can, I think I can still salvage it. Noon. Zhu. And then you got the Samka. I don't think I've actually seen a similar letter name like this one. So that's somewhat special. And then you got a good old Ein. So it's a very interesting sound, based off my experience, you know, learning Arabic and stuff. The Ein, like in Arabia, the number 4, Aba, is where you like find the Ein being used a lot. I can't really call how best to transcribe it, but like it is a really special sound that once again you can pretty much mainly find in languages just like Arabic. Now, like Arabic, Ugaritic had the P sound, so this is the Pu. The shorter. It also had the Koppa, which is the Q sound, which would have been like represented using the letter Kof in Arabic. Russia will be written like so. I think this is an emphatic consonant, the Dona. Now this would have been, okay, so how it's written is the diagonal stroke would be intersecting with the Winkelhaken. The wing shape, the wing stroke. I don't know, I'm just gonna call it the wing stroke because it does look like it. But how would it intersect though? Do I have to like maybe maybe do the diagonal first and then do the stroke? Or just do them real close to each other. Something like this. Because otherwise it will mix up with the doll, which is this one here. Next letter will be the coin. Another special, you know, sound that you see in languages like Arabic. I think for this one you'll also have to use the wing stroke first and then put a line across it. So yeah. You put a line across it. this just looks so cursed. Oh gosh. It's alright. Yeah, how would you pick a nice looking that? Oak. Because I think I'm still like trying to like practice that one. There we go. Only to ruin it with like whatever I just did just now. What if I do horizontal first? Okay, that does not work. Whatever I did does not work. There we go. Okay, you know, I'm really committed to like getting this letter done really nicely. I'm so sorry if I'm like lacking commentary. I really want to lock in. Why use another stylus? What if I use another stylus like so? So you get the next one down as well, which is a do, and then you got the E sound as well. And then you flip it 90 degrees, you get the ooh. Now next one will be interesting. The last one is the scuffed, which is made using really small wedge, vertical, and more tiny wedges. Like so. Then with a little word divider, and this should be the full Ugaritic alphabet. Ugaritic consonant tree. Now I could definitely sign my name off like at the back here. Provided this thing doesn't come apart again. Because there's like some very awkward cracks showing in this clay here. And I think this tablet might be at a huge risk of coming apart. Let's see if I can just ensure that you can't, ensure that it doesn't split apart like this. I wouldn't want it split apart. Alright. Should be there. So how would I exactly write my name, you know, without any vowels? Because Ugaritic was written as consonant tree without you know, without using any vowels, not even vowel marks. So of course you have to start with the zeta because that is what my name starts with, the Z. And also this tablet is really cracking. It's really coming apart. I have no idea, man. This might actually fall apart like in the long run. Let's see. I presume would have used a worse sound to convey the fact that it's a Zui. So I think I might write it with the whoa. But yeah, the cracks are really starting to show in this tablet here. I am... oh gosh. I'm not sure if this tablet will survive. It's not good. Next, I think I might actually do the Y sound. Yeah, I might need to get the water in. Come on. Don't die on me, please. Like, it's gonna fracture along the middle, I think. I think that's where it's gonna be like the weakest now. Yikes. And then the lambda. Now, how would I want to write the S sound? I think I might do the sum cut because I think it's elusive. It's meant to be a portmanteau between Zui and elusive. Oh gosh, it's really coming apart here. Stop cracking. Stop cracking. Okay. And then we do another yacht, I think. Yeah. Now there's no V sound in Ugaritic, so it might be another vowel sound here, I think. I'm not really sure if they have the F consonants. I don't think they have the F consonants. So I think this would have been how my name would be written in Ugaritic. Okay, let me just try to claw these things back again. Because holy heck, this one is really, it really wants to come apart. It really wants to fall apart. Like, look at this. Look at this edge here. If it tears and like cracks, this is where it will like most likely pop. And also going back to Old Persian, I might actually set this one down a little bit now, since it's like on the verge of like really cracking here. Now going back to Old Persian cuneiform, I think I might want to try to see if I can, you know, write my own name inside here before it all cracks. So let's see. We can start off with it's really hardening up. There we go. Does that sound? Just soften this area first. I think that's where I want to write it. Just soften this area up. Let's sign off my own work. Okay. I think it should be firm enough. If I could stop making my own errors here and there, that'd be great. But yeah, this is the main area I want to like write my own name inside. I got a Z coming in. Zoo. I think it's really like Zooey. I do need to like get the spelling right again. Let me just get my spelling right. My handwriting is really atrocious, I'm so sorry. I mean, see, if it kind of happens to like it kind of happens to the best of us, right? Sometimes you just like don't. We just have one of those days where, like, you know, sometimes your handwriting is just complete, but I think it's supposed to like look like this, but oh my gosh, I can do so much better. I feel I can do so much better with like my writing here. Okay. Lock in. Eh, I won't say close, but it's still like not close enough. Okay, maybe if I just erase the entire letter first before continuing. Oh gosh. I might have just screwed up the entire I might have just screwed up the entire word. Hold up, let me just erase it again then. Who knew writing on clay would be that difficult? Especially when the clay is starting to harden. There we go, Zui. Now to the right, Lucid. If I remember correctly, it's another up, up. And then I don't give enough space for it. If oh, there is. Oh, I should have just made enough space for it. Oh my gosh, I feel so stupid now. Okay, you know what? Planning is a fail, but that's fine. We'll come back to Zui first. And then we can continue on a fresh new line with like the other letters. Or how about if I just like restart the entire thing, but like make more space for it? Simple. Now that I have like a better idea of how to like write it, you know. That's 3 done. So that's an L. Lu. My alignment sucks here. Whoops. Okay, we got this. We are so close to writing my name. In this tablet, I just want to sign it off with this Okay, maybe I should wait for it to like try a little bit more before trying again. I just took out a chunk of clay with that. Whoops. Okay. So where am I now? Ah. So I do need my... Okay, now let's redo this letter first. Redo this syllable first. Okay, sa. Oh gosh. Oh, the wedges do not look good. There we go. Get the E done. I think we can try using the V sound. Oh, we. So. In Old Persian, this would have been what my name would look like, I think. So I use the letters, za, u, ya, sa, i. No, la, u, sa, i, v. So this is what my name would have looked like in Old Persian. And once you compare that to Ugaritic, you can see the difference. There we go. This is in Old Persian. How I would have signed off, and Ugaritic will be here. But yeah, I think overall I am proud of what I've created here. Sure, we have like lost a whole bunch of like, you know, product in the meantime because of desiccation here and there, but you know, it's all good. And it actually like feels like I'm holding like a piece from antiquity now. So yes, I think I will leave this to air dry. But yeah, there's a whole bunch more of Q&A form which I really like to explore here. So it's like, you know, if I think I'm gonna invest in a better I think I'm gonna invest in a better handcam. And then maybe expand my entire clay collection or something, I have no idea. Go and get more clay. But yeah, we did manage to like get our nice little all-person script done. We've got our Ugaritic abjad done, and learn how to spell names. Let me know if you want your name spelled, by the way. I really want to see. I really want to like try doing that at some point. Like usually, like whenever I do streams like this, it's like I really want to try getting like a whole bunch of a lot more interaction than I actually get in reality. So yeah, I would say, like, you know, my invitation is open. Let me know if you want to see your name appear in either of these two writing systems. I really want to try to write your name, so, you know, let me know. But yeah, it's a really long how to say, long delayed sort of like Bronze Age-ish themed stream, and I'm just glad to like be able to like spend my second anniversary, you know, just fooling about with clay, you know, doing something I've really wanted to do for a really long time. I am going to wash my hands first, and then we'll try to clean this place up. Because look at my styluses. It's all clay. Okay, I'm just gonna go wash my hands for a little bit. And I'll be back in a minute or two. I must admit though, this is like way more. This is like. I must admit, like this type of clay is like way more, like way less stickier than I expected. Like, for example, the what's it? The terracotta ones I had, those actually stuck a lot more compared to like. Compared to like these lighter clays that I use today. Terracotta ones, they just stuck a lot more together. Which was annoying, I think. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like Bronze Age related topics, especially in language and stuff, that I really want to, like, you know, go into more detail of. So yeah, just let me know if you want to see more of this, because I really want to do more of these streams at some point. And I don't know, I just don't want to feel lonely when doing this. because it's really something I love. Okay, let me just clean this one up first. But yeah, I think for a start, what I can do is to invest in a better webcam or like hand cam that, you know, that actually focuses on what I want to focus. I don't know how this Logitech thing focuses, and I do apologize for like any scuff that comes out from it. Okay. Let me just clean this one up nicely. I think I should really invest in like, you know, a proper workstation for this, because oh boy. To minimize like the amount of like cleanup I have to do at this workstation. Because I do eat from this. I do eat from this table. And now I have like the essence of earth on my table as well. But yeah, you know what? Overall I am proud of like the creations I have today. So yeah, I'll leave this in camera view for now. Come on, it's overhead. You can focus on it. You can focus on this. I think what I can do is to like transfer them to like a wrap. Just attach this to a cling film first. You know, a slightly nicer surface for them to like chill on, I think. And pray that these creases don't like persist. But yeah, I'll be leaving these tablets to like air dry overnight, and then we'll see when I can bake it in an oven. Of course, I won't be applying any glaze to it. I don't think glazing clay works is like part of the script here. I don't know. I don't think I've heard of any stories where like, you know, when people came and loot artifacts, and then they just like, you know what, would be a good thing? Let's just set fire to this place, and then we glaze whatever clay stuff we find. I don't think it works that way. Okay, I'm just gonna maybe germaphobe mode on and just like make sure this place is like spick and span before I set my babies down again. There we go. But yeah, I think my you know what? I think my previous pack of clay that I practiced on over the past year has definitely served me well, and unfortunately, it's not really serviceable right now. It's like completely dried out, I think. So no matter how much I try to rehydrate it, I don't think it'll be like back to its former glory or quality. I think. But yeah, I am proud of what we have made here. Look at that. Even though our handcam may not be so appreciative. Hey, you know what? But yeah, I will definitely try to invest like a better camera next time. I'm in a bit of a catch-22 situation here though. I do need like better equipment. I just don't know where to start, that kind of stuff. But yeah, happy 2nd anniversary to me, I guess. It's just real fun, like, you know, just sharing what I like most. I don't really have like, you know, much intention to bring guests over. I don't know, I might try inviting like guests over or something like that. I don't know. I need to like broaden my connections, to be honest. Like I do need like a broader set of friends if I really want to like, you know, get collabs going, or like, you know, the normal sort of interaction you'd see like, you know, on the big ones, for example. Like for the past year or so, I've mainly been just solo streaming, I guess. I don't think I've like done a single collab in like, you know, so far this year even. We're just about halfway through the year as well, so it's like, you know, the fact that I don't really have like a collab in mind for like the past at least half a year right now, at least a year by now. It's probably like, I don't know. I might feel a little bit lonely, you know. I might feel a bit lonely streaming, right? Like, you know, streaming and VTubing right now. I do want to see if I can get a collab, you know, or two in. You know, just to talk more with like you know, similar creators and stuff like that. Or like, you know, people from like different sorts of creative backgrounds, that kind of stuff. I think I wanted to set as a goal, because I've been like so not so disengaged from like the wider community that I think it's kind of like stifling, you know, is probably hurting my own growth as well, like, you know, my own personal growth and development, because I do want to see like what other people are doing, or like what or how to interact with like basically people, creators and community members alike. I think I want to try to like influence that, like, you know, at least in the coming year forward, and perhaps try to grow as like, you know, development wise, grow as a streamer, and you know, and how to say, become better at talking. I think there are a lot of times where I lose my train of thought, lose my and become like really not as coherent. There are numerous times when that happens, and I think it's probably because, like, you know, too many thoughts are clashing at the same time. There's in such a way that I, you know, just forget how to talk. I think that's the main part of me that needs to be worked on, and I do hope that, you know, maybe in the third anniversary we'll look back, and then we'll see, like, you know, the changes, the improvements that I've made to my own self to improve, you know, my image as a VTuber, that kind of stuff. I'll work towards that. I think it's nice to have some healthy goals and resolutions, you know, set for every anniversary I do. A bit sad I didn't, like, you know, I missed the opportunity to do that. I missed the opportunity to do that last year, because I was, you know, abroad, and, you know, just basically catching up with like IRL family and stuff like that. So, you know, I guess that's a trade-off. But yeah, okay. But yeah, I think this year I set off with like a slightly more ambitious goal in mind, which is to actually do a handcam stream. And while the equipment stuff has not gone like exactly to plan, I just hope that you just enjoyed like the vibes, I guess. I've been like trying to like see what works and what doesn't, and you know, how to improve myself regarding how I do stuff like streams like this, for example, in the future. I would say for some parts it's still going to be a very like experimental thought or phase for me, but I think that's what I like to use my platform for. You know, I'm very comfortable in the entire roguelite sort of genre here and there, but I do like to just branch out to see what works and what doesn't work for me. I want to make this one work. We have like a nice little goal ahead of myself here, and yeah, you know, that's what we're in for, the journey. So yeah, thank you so much for coming along to my second anniversary celebration. It's been a 5 straight days of streams. You know, a couple of highs, a couple of lows, but mainly highs. And I'm glad that you know, you're able to make it for at least some part of it. You know, be part of the occasion. The other, I think my next major event, at least from my side, is my birthday stuff coming winter solstice. But you know, that's we'll plan for that. We'll eventually plan for that. But yeah, thank you so much for coming along. Have yourselves a great morning, day, noon, afternoon, evening, night, midnight, wherever you are, whenever you are. That being said, you know, I would say I'm happy. I'm happy streaming like this. I am happy streaming in my own, you know, just little space of the internet. And I'll be honest, I don't think I could have asked for anything better. Oh man. But yeah, you know, 2 years of VTubing, here's to another more. Here's to another one. And yeah, I do hope to bring better streams next time, and we'll look back and see, you know what, this is an improvement from the last time. But yeah, as usual, have yourself a great morning, day, noon, afternoon, evening, night, midnight, wherever you are, whenever you are. That being said, take care. I am not sure if I want to raid today. I might. I don't know. Should I raid someone today? I don't really have a mutual that I can raid though. Yeah, I think it might be. I think I might just not raid today. I don't know. It's a Monday. It's not the usual day it's not a normal day I usually stream on. So yeah. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you. I'll say Thursday 9 p.m. Central European Summer Time for another fresh week of streams. How about that? New schedule will be up on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So you know, be sure to check it out. Either here on Twitch or on Blue Sky or on Twitter. So yeah, take care. I am going to go wash up and have a nice, well-deserved rest. Thank you so much for coming along. See ya.